Hello, Youth of ID. We're back. I've missed you. We miss you lots. I hope you're well. I hope you are all staying safe. I hope you're all not too bored in this lockdown weird period that we're in. I have been asked this week to share my testimony. So I'm Hannah, if you don't know who I am. I help out at ID on a Sunday. Or not on a Sunday, it's on a Wednesday. I should know that. So this week I'm just going to share a little bit about what God's done in my life and how I became a Christian, basically. So I was brought up in a Christian family. I think I became a Christian when I was about 7 or 8. So I remember saying this really simple prayer with my mum in my bedroom, just basically asking Jesus to come in my life. And then from probably the age of about 7 to 16, I was going to church every Sunday with my family. I don't really remember that much. I was getting taught a little bit, but I was getting told off quite a lot for talking every week. I'd chat too much. I'd chat way too much, which hasn't really changed. But yeah, so I can't really remember much. I enjoyed going to church, but nothing major happened kind of in that period of time. And then when I was about 16, I went to a summer camp in Nottingham. So it was like a group of young people from about the age of 11 to 18. And I basically just started to learn more about God. So I was just asking questions and I was kind of wondering, what do I actually believe? I started to learn that there is a God out there who has an amazing plan for my life, who loves for me, who died in my place so I didn't have to take all that shame, that he cares about me so much more than I could ever imagine. So I started learning about this amazing God, and I was like, okay. And so then over that kind of year from when I was about 16 to 17, I started learning more. I started listening in church more as well. And I was like, actually understood what it meant to be a Christian and what it meant. And before that period, I hadn't really understood what it meant to be a Christian. At school, I didn't like people knowing that I was a Christian. I was like, kept it quite hidden, but as I kind of got older, probably from about the age of 16, I started to actually be confident and actually be bold in saying, like, I'm happy to be known as a Christian and saying that I'm a Christian as well. So that kind of year I started thinking about get baptized as well, which basically is a public declaration of showing that you are a Christian. So it happens in church. If you've ever seen anyone being baptized, it's basically where your whole body goes underwater and then you come back up. You don't stand there, obviously. I started thinking about baptism as well. So then the next summer camp came round, and when I was 17, and I went to the same one in Nottingham. And I remember there was one specific night that God was like, okay, it's like, why don't you get baptized? Why not? I was like, okay, let's do it. But I didn't really know what it meant. I was like, oh, okay. So I asked one of the leaders at the church camp as well, and she just said, she was like, Kate, don't worry, you don't need to stress about it at all. And then she quoted this verse, which was, be still and know that I am God, which is from Psalm 46. And I remember instantly that when she said that verse had been written in bold letters in my family church that I'd grown up in, and it was on the wall. And I remember every Sunday as a kid, I would go to church and I would see those words written up, and I'd think, what does that mean? Be still and know that I am God. What does that actually mean? What does that actually look like? And then when the leader said this at the summer camp, it made sense. I was like, okay, it means to be still, actually, to be calm and give control over to God. He has a plan for your life. You don't need to have everything planned out. We're in this lockdown period, and you don't need to know what's going to happen in 4 months' time, because God knows. And that is something that we can hold on to, and that's something that we can take comfort in as well. After that church camp, I went back to my home church and kind of started thinking about getting baptized. It wasn't the same as church. If you've ever been to New Day, you're in that New Day bubble, and then you go back and it's not the same. But God is still the same. That is one thing that I want you to take away, is that he is unchanging and he is still the same. So I started thinking about baptism, but if you know me, I'm really indecisive. So I actually didn't get baptized until a year later. So when I was in my first year of uni, when I was 18. And throughout that year, God had spoken to me so much. There was various times where I'd ask God for like signs to get baptized, because I was really unsure. And then there was that Sunday the preach was on signs, and I still didn't get baptized after that. But yeah, God spoke to me so much over that period as well. And then I went off to university in September of 2017. So I went to the University of Brighton in Eastbourne. So that is what brought me to Eastbourne. And I've seen God do so much in that period of my life. In the past 3 years, God has moved in so many amazing ways that I never would have thought that he ever would. I've seen God heal people that I've known. I've seen God provide where I never thought provision would be possible. God has done so much, and he's spoken to me and he's ministered to me in so many ways that I never would have thought of. But I think back to actually, despite these last 3 years have been like really pivotal for my faith, especially like moving to a different area. Starting university is a big change, but despite these past 3 years, despite the past 10 years of my life since I've become a Christian, actually, God has never changed. That is the one thing that I want you to take away. If you are going to take away anything, if you've made it this far, well done. But I want you to take away one thing, actually, that God is still the same. Like in this situation, in this lockdown period, he is still the same. He is still the God that's going to provide for you. He's still the God that can perform miracles in your life. He's still the God that loves and cares for you and has a plan for your life. And that God stays the same and still sees you now as well. So I want you to, I want to challenge you, actually, if you're sitting there in your bedroom, in your living room, wherever you are, that if you are there and you don't know God, or you're like, why do they keep sending these videos about this God guy? This God is a powerful God, and he has changed and transformed so many of our lives. So just ask God, just why not now or after you've watched this video? Just ask him to just reveal himself to you and see what God does. You've got nothing to lose, basically. So just see what God can do, because he can do so much more than we can ever imagine. And God knows you and sees you, and he is still the same. In 4 months' time, in a year's time, when all this is over, he is still the same. He is still the same loving and good and powerful and faithful God that we love and we serve. So that is one thing that I want you to take away from it today. I hope you all stay safe. I hope you all have the best week ever. Get up to lots of fun things. Enjoy your unlimited daily exercises now. It's a great bonus. But yeah, I hope you're all well. Missing you lots and looking forward to getting back to ID at some point. See you later. Bye.